The slow crawl towards game one continues, Nick. And now, less than 5 hours before game one against the Los Angeles Dodgers, we have a lineup. Welcome in, everybody. I'm Craig Sandlin, joined as always by Nick Kirby. Welcome into Chatterbox Reds. The Cincinnati Reds officially announced their lineup for game one against the Los Angeles Dodgers in the National League Wild Card Series. We'll go through it all here in just a minute. But, Nick, immediate thoughts before I go through the whole lineup as Terry Francona rolls out game one.
Yeah, I mean, this is probably what you were expecting if Austin Hayes was available. Him being in the lineup is huge, though. I mean, Austin Hayes has absolutely destroyed lefties and has a long proven track record of hitting lefties. So that's huge. Obviously, Tyler Stevenson in the lineup because Brady Singer's not pitching. That's also huge. So, yeah, I mean, the players that are in the lineup, I don't really have any qualms with outside of one guy who I've made it known, and that's Sal Stewart. And, you know, Craig, I was thinking about this today, and I just get this eerie feeling. It reminds me of 2012 when the Reds decided to not play Todd Frazier in the NLDS. They only played him in one game. Scott Rowland was completely toast at that point. He retired a few weeks after that. In fairness to, I guess, Francona, there isn't like a Scott Rowland in this lineup where, you know, he's just completely done. Like, even the players that I think a lot of Reds fans don't want in the lineup, they do provide value, like McLean and Brian Hayes, where Scott Rowland wasn't even playing good defense at that point. But not having Scott Rowland in the lineup does kind of feel eerily similar to that Todd Frazier, and you never know if Todd Frazier would have been in the lineup if that could have changed that series.
Absolutely. Let's run through the lineup for you. Game one, Tuesday night at 9:08 p.m. It's quite frankly very similar to what you see most nights for a left-handed pitcher on the mound for the Cincinnati Reds. TJ Friedl leads off and plays center field. Noelvi Marte will get the start in right field and bat second. Miguel Andujar, as Nick mentioned, the left-handed pitching killer. He'll DH and bat third. Austin Hayes plays left field, his first start since going missing several games due to a back injury. Spencer Steer bats fifth and plays first base. Ellie De La Cruz settles into the sixth hole at shortstop. Tyler Stevenson will bat behind him at catcher in the seven hole. And then we round it out with the third baseman, Ke'Bryan Hayes, and batting ninth is second baseman Matt McLean. As we all know already, Hunter Green will start game one. Again, Nick, it feels basically like Tito's rocking with what he's comfortable with at this point. You hate to see kind of the back-to-back, I'll say easy outs, I guess, with Hayes and McLean at the back end of the lineup. But going up against a left-handed pitcher in Blake Snell, I think this is pretty much what we would have expected, with maybe the exception, like you said, of do we get to see a Sal Stewart at third base instead of Ke'Bryan Hayes, or maybe at first base. But with Austin Hayes healthy, I think, quite frankly, your options were a little bit limited to get him in. It really was third base or nowhere.
And to be honest, Craig, really 8, 9, 1, and 2 are honestly probably the Reds' 4 worst hitters against left-handed pitching. TJ Friedl's serviceable, but he's not a good hitter against lefties. He should not be batting leadoff. Noelvi Marte has not hit lefties at all out throughout his career. Maybe the Reds believe that there's something fluky about that, but there's no StatCast data or anything that says that it is fluky. It's just he's not hit lefties at all. McLean actually has like a 90 WRC plus against lefties this year for as bad as he's been. So he's been serviceable. But yeah, I mean, that's really the thing. I have a difficult time understanding is why you allow, as I've said many times, a pitcher to get settled in. Man, I'd love to just have like Miguel Andujar hitting leadoff. I mean, you know, like just do something a little crazy, make it really hard on Blake Snell to settle in. And I'm sure TJ Friedl and Noelvi Marte will have 6 hits tonight, just to spite me. And I would love, Craig, there's nothing more than I love to just be completely spitting all over by the top of the Reds lineup.
Absolutely. I mean, this isn't to be unexpected. Blake Snell last time against the Reds threw a no-hitter. So I'm not going to sit here and act like I would expect many Reds hitters to have success against Blake Snell, but Spencer Steer and Miguel Andujar, the only two Reds in their careers with a hit against Blake Snell. Miguel Andujar, 4 for 13, a 308 batting average with a 692 OPS. He has one double against him in his career. So if he's the only guy who's had any sort of success, I don't, certainly want to try and get him as many at-bats as possible. The Dodgers going with 4 left-handed relievers on their roster for the National League Wildcard Series. So expect to see a lot of right-handed bats in the lineup throughout the entire week. Ellie De La Cruz may not get to bat from the left-handed side of the plate the entire series. Any final thoughts, Nick, on this lineup and the matchup tonight before we go dark for a couple hours before the pregame show?
Yeah, for me, it's that Andujar, Hayes, and I'll say Steer. I'll give Steer some credit because Spencer Steer in the minor leagues absolutely destroyed lefties. In 2023, hit lefties really well. Then in 2024, he did not hit lefties at all. And then early in this year, and I'm going to try to find the exact starting point for our pregame show later. But I'm a guy who is so obsessed with this. Earlier in the year, maybe midway point of the year, Spencer Steer was still hitting lefties very poorly. He finished the year with a 98 WRC plus against lefties. So he is absolutely raked against lefties, at least over the last, about 2 months. I'm going to try to find exactly where that was, but maybe he's starting to come around. Maybe some of it was fluky. Maybe some of it was something not right with him. But that's the spot of the lineup where the Reds have to capitalize for them to win tonight.
Oh, this is the lineup that the Reds are rolling with in game 1, looking to get out to a 1-0 series lead against the Los Angeles Dodgers. Once again, first pitch this evening, 9:08 p.m. on ESPN, but make sure you tune in right here on Chatterbox Sports, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram. We'll be live starting at 8:30 Eastern for a pregame show. That'll be Nick Kirby and Mike Hart. And then Nick Kirby and Trace Fowler will be live throughout the entire game to break it all down for you, give live reaction and play-by-play as the Reds look for their first postseason win in many, many years. Until then, for Nick Kirby, I'm Craig Sandlin. This has been Chatterbox Reds. We'll see you this evening. Go Reds.